Phil, you've not only got Ireland in your blood, your descendants, but you've also got tech in your blood. You were on the board of eBay. What does the future business model of the auto industry look like to you when tech is involved?
It's going to be very different than today's model because the whole world of city driving is changing, and it's going to change to something quite unrecognizable today. So whether it's the way you own a car or don't own one, I mean access to a vehicle, the autonomous driving, connected vehicles, all these things are going to come into being, and it's going to change our business model, and it's going to change the way people use vehicles in cities.
So where's the value then? Is if you can no longer exponentially sell more and more cars as people share them, where then is the value for Ford?
So the value will come in different streams, and so if you think of transportation as a service, the traditional model was you had hardware and you sold that hardware and you made your profit from that. That won't disappear. In fact, we'll be living in both worlds for some time. But the world of city driving is going to change dramatically, and there will be lots of different revenue streams. And we have experiments going all around the world, trying different things, whether it's fractional ownership, whether it's using a car to actually do social good, and lots of things like that. And we don't precisely know where all these revenue streams are, but one thing we do know is it will change and change incredibly rapidly, and we want to participate in that.
Have you got to control the data to a certain extent? What do you think about the Apples, the Googles of this world coming into the auto industry and disrupting it?
I think it's great. I think they're bringing great energy and really interesting new ideas to the industry. And so, you think of our industry, we've had no revolutions for 100 years or more, and now we're at this, at the doorstep, I believe, of several revolutions all happening at once. Technology and also the way people use that technology and use their cars. So, I think it's wonderful that we have all these new players coming in, including startups coming in. We have a lot of young disruptors coming into our industry. And we as a company just need to remain curious, open-minded, and recognizing that a lot of people are doing very interesting things that we could potentially partner with.
You talk about a revolution, you talk about technology as well. I mean, it springs to mind at the moment software being used, perhaps not always for a force for good, but Dieselgate, Volkswagen scandal at the moment. How are you interpreting that? How is that changing and revolutionizing your industry at the moment?
Well, first of all, I really don't want to comment on another company, but I think a lot of it comes down to your own culture. The culture we have as a company is something that I work very hard at maintaining, and as do all our employees. One of openness, one of accountability, and one of dealing with reality. And so if you uncover a problem, you deal with it, and you deal with it openly and transparently. That's the way I expect the Ford culture to operate. And whether it's software or anything else that we are going to, there are always issues facing companies, governments, and individual human beings. And so you need guideposts, though, every time to help you along the way. And so, anyway, in some ways, this new world of software that we're into, if we keep that in mind, I think we'll be fine.
So which sort of tech startups are you looking at to involve within your business in a transparent manner? And which areas are you looking to disrupt first? Is it about collecting data? Is it about parking? Is it about which areas are you focusing on?
It's happening all concurrently, and that's what's so cool, is that, you've got all these buckets. You've got, autonomy. You've got connected vehicles. You've got parking. You've got ways of ownership that's changing or accessing vehicles. And it's all happening now. It won't happen sequentially. And so we're working across. And I think the company that can stitch all this together in a way that makes the customer's life easier, and I think that's really important, because we can all fall in love for technology for its own sake, and forget that for a moment that this is all about making people's lives, individuals and society's life better and easier. And so one thing we don't want to do is introduce a whole suite of technologies in a way that the customer says, I don't understand this and I can't deal with this. So it's up to us, and we also have to understand we have a wide range of people that are tech savvy or not that are out there, and we have to make all this available to every one of them. And so that will be, I think, an art and a science for us going forward.
Will it take partnerships? Who will win out, the auto companies or the tech companies, or do you have to work together?
We have to work together. I mean, we have tremendous domain knowledge in a lot of areas, including the integration of software into a vehicle, and that's critical. But they bring, big tech companies and young tech companies, they bring a lot of really interesting aspects, and we have to understand that we can't do it all ourselves and shouldn't do it all ourselves. It's a different world.